Look how high the sun is already in the sky. The shadow barely touches the solar panels, while 6 weeks ago they were completely shaded during midday. It won't be long until it is over the trees and shining on the panels. Guys, welcome back to the Off-Grid Garage. Welcome back to a new show. We have pure sunshine outside and something like 44 amps, but we are at 50% state of charge already. That is the battery shelf only. Guys, in today's video we want to have a look at the VRM, and we have used the Victron VRM for a long time, to analyze data, to troubleshoot if something goes wrong, looking at the history of solar production and consumption. That's it. That's the Victron VRM for the Off-Grid Garage, and you can see all kind of details. And if you go to the advanced page, it gives you a ton of information, a ton, not only graphs and numbers, but you can also have a look at the history of the previous month. There you go. There's the battery voltage and current of the previous month. Amazing. But only a few people know that there is also another VRM online. And this one is not from Victron. It is from our friends from Gobel Power. Yes, Gobel Power has got their own VRM now. Yeah, it is compatible with their PACE BMS, with their Gobel Power BMS, and also with the JK inverter BMS now. Plus the JK-B series BMS with a P-Link communication board. And you can access this Gobel VRM via the website or via the online app. And if you have visited the Gobel Power website or recently, you may have seen this already because it pops up everywhere there. They're really advertising it now because in the current state, it is already pretty good. And it says here, monitor your energy anywhere. And this is exactly what you can do. In one of the past videos a couple of weeks back, I have shown you how to connect the new Gobel Power or the PACE BMS via an RS232 to Ethernet adapter to your network and to read out all the information into Home Assistant. And this here takes this whole setup now a step further. It uploads all the information into the cloud and shows them on the Gobel VRM. And as I just said in the previous video about the Gobel Power BMS, we have used the RS232 to Ethernet, the WaveShare RS232 to Ethernet server. And this connects then to the RS232 port of the communication board, reads out all the information and puts them on your network. And because the setup of this server is a bit advanced, it is not super complicated, but it is a bit advanced, they have come up with a different solution and they are now using a Wi-Fi dongle. This is how it looks like. It's a plug and play PWB1. It's Gobel Power Wi-Fi module. And this plugs into a port here on the new Gobel Power BMS. This is the RS232 and Wi-Fi connector. Comes with this short piece of cable, and on their website you can already find the first batteries which have this Wi-Fi module installed. By the way, how good is that price? Just a bit over 1,600 euros. That is including the MB31 cells, the do-it-yourself case, but you need to buy the Wi-Fi adapter separately. And the reason for that is not they want to squeeze out extra money from you, but if you have several batteries in parallel, you need only one of these adapters. This one only plugs into the master BMS and it reads the information of all connected parallel batteries. Pretty much the same as we had with the WaveShare RS232 to Ethernet server. This one was also reading the information of all parallel batteries. And I've seen somewhere down here, the Wi-Fi module is only 27 euros extra. So I don't know what they have done here, but 1,638 plus 27 is not 1,850. So Gobel Power is actually advising to turn off the BMS before you unplug the Wi-Fi module. I just want to show you the connector, how it looks like. It's just a 4-pin connector. So this one is basically mounted to your front panel of the battery box, and this one just plugs in. And then you lock it with this nut, so it is securely connected. It is not flimsy, but it sticks out. That's roughly another 130 mil. It sticks out at the front of your box. Maybe in the future they come up with a little angle connector or something, so it actually points upwards. It doesn't use that much space at the front of your battery, and it certainly doesn't create any hazards, so it breaks off the connector. So let me open the Gobel Power VRM app. And you can just download it on the Google Play Store as well as the App Store. So it is available for Android and iOS. And here you can already see we've got one battery online, 0 is offline. Total installations, I have only one at the moment. So if we click on this one, you can already see an overview about all the connected batteries. Oh yeah, I haven't shown you. I have connected another 3 batteries here to this test BMS via the RS485 parallel ports. So this gray cable goes to another Gobel Power BMS in this battery and then connects down to a PACE BMS with Wi-Fi. And this is the older PACE BMS here, which is connected via RS485 as well. So they're all daisy chained, 4 batteries connected. The master on the workbench starts with dip switch number 1. Then we have here dip switch number 2, switch number 3, and switch number 4. And here in the mobile app you can see the state of charge of all your batteries. Down here you've got the voltage, power, current, state of health, temperature, the cycles, and how many packs are connected. 4 of them, as we have just seen. Yeah, and then you've got all 4 battery packs showing up here on the app. How good is that? And of course you can click on any of these packs, so pack number 3 for example, and it goes into more details. So here you've got the real-time data of the BMS. You also have the history tab up there and the records for no alerts. Nothing is recorded with this BMS, so that's good. But if there would be an over voltage protection or something, or an over temperature, you would have the records here showing in the app. So here again, the real-time data shows you the voltage, current, power, and the cell voltage difference in the top, state of charge, of course. The status is idle because the battery is not connected physically, so it's not charging or discharging. Temperature, state of health is the only thing which doesn't work with the older PACE BMS, apparently. So I haven't fully investigated this or asked Gobel Power about this, but there might be something not 100% compatible. So state of health is not showing correctly for the older PACE BMS at the moment. Might be just an update of the firmware or an app update. They will figure it out and fix this eventually. Max voltage, min voltage. Then we've got the charge and discharge energy, how many cycles this battery has done, how many cells, and the balance current as well. Down here you have even an overview across all your 16 cells. Yeah, you can see the blue cell is the lowest cell, the orange ones are high, and I think white is average. You've got all 4 temperature sensors showing, plus the MOSFET and the I think environment temperature as well of this battery. And under the history tab it shows you the history of this battery, voltage, because it's not charging, it's just a line at the moment. Let's see. Power, yeah, cell voltage is a millivolt. And up here you can set the history for the last hour, 6 hours, 24, 2 days, 7 days, 1 month. It gives you the temperature readings as well. Battery status, if the battery was fully charged or balancing or the heater enabled. You can see this all here in this graph as well. And also if there was any protection in the last 24 hours. So this is all the information you get. I think you can also, yeah, you can also click hang on, the cells, here they are. Yeah, you can also click on the window and it gives you the information for this point of time of all your cells. Yeah, all the cell voltages, everything, all the details are here. Temperatures as well. You can see the environmental, the MOSFET, and the 4 temperature sensors for the battery cells. And then you go back and basically you can get the information for each of the battery packs, of course. So that is pretty good. The other thing you can do is here you can, in the top right corner, you can click on this gear symbol and go into your settings of your BMS as well. Yeah, this gives you an overview about your battery, whatever you set, and then you can read and change the charge limits. We can read this information here from the BMS. This now works over Wi-Fi and the cloud. And we can see we've got a CCL set to 145. If this is too high, if I want to set it to 120 only, I click on set. And we get a success there, and now 120. So if we override this again with 150, for example, and go to read, it deletes this 150 and reads the information 120, what we have just set. Yeah, you can also set the protection current and the delay for that, and the same for the discharge current limit and the charge voltage limit. Yeah, it sits on 55.2. If you want to charge to 56 volts, bam, you set this one here. So there's pretty much no need to connect to the computer software anymore with an RS-232 cable. You can just use the app or the VRM website to do all the setup of your BMS. There's the inverter protocol settings, permission management. You can invite other people and give them access to the system, read only or read and write, so they can help you out setting up your BMS. Here under controls, you've got more access, so you can also enable and disable the charge MOSFETs. You can shut down the whole BMS. Protection settings, cell overcharge, cell over discharge, total overcharge, total over discharge, and so on and so on. The same parameters as we have seen in the app already. All the temperatures, settings are in here. Everything you can imagine is there. History, you can read the history, you can clear the history. We've got the protocol settings again and other settings, full charge parameters, we've seen this already. The active balancing you can set. Oh, this one sits on, yeah, we leave this at 3.4 for testing. So, and all the way here at the top to the right is the settings log. And if we refresh this one, it should show us all the changes we have done. Now you can see the charge overcurrent we have changed from 145 to 120. The full charge settings we have changed from 55.2 volts to 56 volts. Yeah, gives you the user who has done the changes and the timestamp and date as well. So you can easily see when you have changed settings and who has changed the settings. So that is such a cool feature, right? And to set up the Wi-Fi, that is actually super simple. It's much easier than set up the RS-232 server, because you don't need to handle IP addresses and stuff like this. So to set this one up here, you just go back to the overview and click on plus up here. And then you find the device ID on the back of the Wi-Fi. This has the device ID here, or you can click on this symbol and scan this QR code. And there's my device ID. You give the installation a name, and then you select if you have Gobel Power BMS or if you have a JK-BMS. Well, now you will say, well, JK doesn't have Wi-Fi, so it doesn't work with JK. You are wrong. Because yesterday I met with the chief master developer from Jikong, JK. He was here in Australia. It was a 3-hour drive for me, but it was worth it because he brought me some gifts. This box contains the newest, latest and greatest JK inverter BMS. I'm not showing it right now. It's the version 22. Here they are. And now we also have a Wi-Fi module. That is for the JK inverter BMS. So more about this later, but just because you are wondering why you can select PACE BMS, Gobel Power BMS or JK-BMS. JK-BMS now has the Wi-Fi as well. And I want to show you how this support button actually works. So if you have a Gobel Power BMS now and something is not working, you click on support and you can open a ticket straight away from the app now. You don't need to send an email or something. You just do this here. And 2 people have already done this, yeah? And you can click on this and you can see what the issue was this person had and what Gobel Power responded. Yeah, it's like a little chat history. You can see what's going on, how many people have viewed it, and so on and so on. You know how the system works. If you want to add your own support ticket, you can click on the plus in the top right hand corner and fill out this form, title, content. It's an issue or a suggestion. What kind of product have you got? You want to add images, screenshots, photos, whatever, and submit this post. You can either do this public, as these 2 persons have done, or you can toggle this one here and it's a private post. Nobody else will be able to see it. So this is a pretty cool new feature now the app has. You can get in direct contact with the technicians at Gobel Power and they help you out with whatever problem you have. Wouldn't that be nice if JK would have such a function in their app? Alright, I think that is everything this app has at the moment. So I don't see any issues at the moment here, apart from, I'll show you this on the computer, hang on. So back on the computer, so you just click on this Gobel VRM advertising you find everywhere on their website, and it brings you to the URL vrm.gobelpower.com. After you log in, you see pretty much the same or similar dashboard as you have seen just on the app on your mobile phone. Okay, let me log out of this stuff here. So So before you can log in, you obviously have to create an account. Yeah, you do this quickly here. So the only problem I see at the moment here is that there's no two-factor authentication, which you can enable and make this account safe. It is only the email and the password. If this gets hacked, someone has access to this website and can also change settings on your BMS. Yeah, so there is a bit of a safety concern if you do that. I have already flagged this with Gobel Power, so hopefully they respond and change this here so we can integrate Microsoft Authenticator or Google Authenticator, and then it makes this one a bit safer. Or they send you a text on your mobile phone, whatever. Just a second layer, if your email and password gets compromised somewhere, you have a second layer of safety and nobody can log in and change settings on your BMS. So we go in here. And you can see the same. Here's a nice animation, real-time data. And this is the overview about your installation. So that's a summary of all 4 batteries we have connected. We can click on this one and go into the details and can see battery pack number 1, 2, 3, and 4 here as well. Battery pack number 3, we can see real-time data, no alarm, all the cells. Here again, we can click on the history charts. We can see the protection records of this BMS. None in here, thankfully. The history can show the data of the last hour up to 6 months here online. So you've got the temperature sensors here. Yeah, as I said, there's nothing connected to this BMS. I think battery number 1 should show something because I have charged the battery this morning a bit. Yeah, here you can see a bit of charge current and voltage and everything from the last 24 hours. So that's pretty cool. State of charge has increased from 30% to 36%. And you can also see the cell voltages here. When you hover your mouse over it, it shows you the voltages of each individual cell. Don't know, this is maybe... There's a reset button. Can you? Oh, you can actually zoom in. I just wanted to say you cannot zoom in, but you can. And this is the reset button for it to go back to the overview. So I can actually just show this bit. There you go. Amazing. That's pretty much the same function as the Victron VRM has. Because I was just going to say this VRM is not as sophisticated as the Victron VRM, but this is a new development and Victron is on the market for a long time, so they had enough time to develop the VRM. It is probably still not as detailed as the Victron VRM, but it is a very good start, I think. So you can actually see discharge enabled, charge enabled all the time. The charger was on, there was a bit of a gap, then I stopped charging again, and also the active balancing when this one was on, so that is pretty cool. News, I think this is a future feature as well. There will be some news, some special offers or whatever showing up, a bit of advertising for their products, which is fair enough. Installation gallery, I haven't uploaded any photos, but I could. Technical support should show us the 2 tickets we have already seen, and you can also go to the shop. And you also have the API keys here you can generate, and then you can use the REST sensor to integrate all this data into Home Assistant, for example. And down here again the settings for your account and the appearance of this VRM. Android and Apple Store to download the app. So you can now have full access to your batteries and BMS through this Gobel Power VRM website or through the mobile app on your phone. And as we have explored previously with the new Gobel Power BMS, you can also add all this data very easily to Home Assistant if you have. And as we have seen in the first video about this topic, we have used the Waveshare RS232 to Ethernet server and have successfully connected all these BMS to Home Assistant. And you can do now exactly the same, but with a Wi-Fi stick. Yeah, you just change the settings to Wi-Fi RS232 and to the PACE LV Wi-Fi. And in the future, there will be also the JK-BMS available, including the new Wi-Fi module. And down here, you change the BMS IP port to 8899. And when we have a look in the log files, we can see the data is already streaming in for battery pack 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you have a look in MQTT, you can see all the batteries, all the battery voltages, cell voltages of all your 4 connected batteries here. Unfortunately, at the moment, everything is still combined, merged into one device. So we are pack number 3 here. And there's pack number 4. And at the bottom there is the total combined aggregated data as well for the current, total capacity, 4 packs we have, state of charge, state of health, total voltage, everything is here in MQTT as well, now with a Wi-Fi stick. So you can now decide if you want the wave share and the cable version connect to your BMS or the Wi-Fi solution with a new Wi-Fi stick. Yeah, and I've got this setup here running on my workbench for a couple of days now and had no issues. All the data is streaming in to Home Assistant, so I can monitor it from everywhere. And also you have the Gobel VRM on your mobile phone as well as on your home computer. You just log into the VRM and have all the information available, and you can also change the settings in the BMS. So, and I don't think you can really compare the Victron VRM with the Gobel Power VRM. They point in a little bit of different directions. While the Victron VRM is more sophisticated, is more complete, it shows you the data of your whole system, yeah? DC chargers, MPPTs, AC charging, inverters, smart shunts, battery, as well as BMS. And the BMS is only a small part of all that, while the Gobel Power VRM is more focused on the battery and the BMS. It doesn't show any other data of solar and inverters and stuff like this. They may do this in the future, but at the moment they are only focused on the BMS. And Victron and Gobel Power are updating the VRM constantly. I know Gobel Power is working on upgrade for the app as well. So with one of the next apps, you will get notifications about warnings. Really? I'm making a video? Really? What did I just say? Ah, yeah. You will get notifications on your mobile phone through the app if there is something wrong with the BMS. So any alerts, any warnings or something, you will get a notification on the mobile as well. So pretty similar to what Victron does with the alarms and warnings you get through the VRM app on your mobile. Yeah, okay, my friends, so far this new Gobel VRM, I just want to introduce it to you because I think it's pretty good. I'm using it for quite a while now. And it's a free service they are offering, so why not using it and monitor your batteries? I also like that they are developing the website, the mobile app and the Home Assistant integration in parallel, and all this software gets better and better over time. Yeah, so the only real concern is that they have no two-factor authentication for setting up the account. And then furthermore, if someone gets access to your profile, they have also complete 100% total access to the BMS and can change parameters and settings, which could be dangerous because it bypasses the BMS or it sets parameters which are outside of the spec of the battery. So I would really like to see here another layer of safety, two-factor authentication, and also another password or something or another authentication before you actually are able to make changes to the BMS. Reading all the data is fine, but making changes to the BMS, there should be another safety layer in my opinion. The Victron VRM at the moment has a two-factor authentication, so your account is pretty safe. But once you are logged in, you also have access to the Multiplus and can download the configuration, change them on your computer, and then upload this configuration back to the Multiplus again. And this could potentially lead to unsafe settings as well. But this is only for the Multiplus, for the inverter. It doesn't affect the BMS and the batteries. And quite frankly, here with the Gobel VRM, we have full access to the BMS. So there is a bit of safety concern. So hopefully they will find a solution very soon. Alright, my friends, I think so far this video for today, introducing you to the Gobel Power VRM. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your amazing support here. Thanks for all your donations. Welcome to all the new channel members, the new subscribers. Thank you very much for all your comments under the videos. So if you like this sort of content, drop me a like. If you are new here, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet and watching until here, what on earth are you doing? Click this button. Guys, until the next video, you stay charged, stay safe, and thanks again for watching. See you then. Bye-bye.